picture is actually just an artistic rendering, but this is like what you're looking at is the back of the church or the west side of the church on the front. So like where you guys go in to check your children, that's that corner door right there that you see here. Is right
Those
there.
two windows are the toddler room or the infant room?
Actually,
Those two windows, aren't those the ones that we walk by that have the kids?
yes, that's correct, and that's the very corner, and the big children banners right here on the end, right there. And so this addition is adding to the back to the west, and so the new foyer will be right there, kind of where you see those doors, and then the auditorium will be to the west of that, and the parking lot will expand out to the west. So we'll be adding quite a few parking, though we're probably gonna add an initial amount, depending on how much money comes in. We'll be ready to expand the parking lot even beyond. We're also gonna put a new driveway going out, so it'll have traffic flow in and out better. Then if you open up, you can see the footprint. The foyer, the new foyer will, it'll have again coffee bar, bathrooms, all that stuff, and quite a bit more space. And then the seating capacity is 960. And so basically, this is about a $7 million project. So the $3 million came out of, was a reduction in the project cost. And so we really need about $2 million to do the whole thing. I'll just give you an example. $1 million will get the structure up, get the parking lot in. So, but the FF&E, that's like furnishing, fixtures, and equipment, okay? Just to give you an example, that's literally could be $1 million. Yeah. Because just, for example, we would like to keep all of our sound system, lighting system, multimedia system in the current auditorium. Number one, we're going to have to remodel that whole area for children's ministry, so that on Sunday morning during peak time, that auditorium that we're currently in will probably be used for children's ministry. Like a lot of different, we're working on that design right now. Cameron wants that auditorium for Sunday night youth ministry, and he wants to run the whole youth, and of course we plan on growing in youth, and they'll probably outgrow the current youth room that we've got right now. So he's wanting to use that for their Sunday night rock at 6, and so we need to put a whole new sound system in, new chairs, lighting, because we do drama, so it's a lighting system, a multimedia system, and that equipment alone is just ridiculously high dollar. I mean, you can literally spend $1 million on the sound system alone. I mean, that's how high tech and what kind of dollar figures are out there in terms of just speakers. And, anyway, it's crazy. But when you look at lighting, multimedia, stage for drama, when you're looking at the the whole sound system, all that stuff, chairs, furnishing, coffee shop, all from FF&E they call it. That could easily run us about $1 million. So we really need this campaign to come. We'd love it to come in at $2 million over the next 2 years, and just see that happen. So some of you are new and you didn't participate, and so basically I'm just asking everybody to pray about making a commitment to this above and beyond their normal giving for 2 years, and actually pray and ask God, to lead you and give you, an intuitive, if you want to call it, direction from his leading about what to give, and let it stretch you by faith. Here's another little thing you can pass around. Go this way with these. Just hand those that way. If you open this thing up, it's got the commitment card in it. On the right hand side this is what we had 3 years ago. Our top goal was $4 million. The main reason why we put this breakdown here is that if we pledged 4 million and 4 million came in, this would be kind of a nationwide average breakout of the kind of gifts that would come in for a $4 million campaign. It's just for illustrative purposes. But the reason why I present this is because a lot of times people will go, well, we've got this number of families in the church. How about if everybody just gives this amount? Kind of like an equal assessment across the board. For one thing, I don't have that kind of power to just, tax assess my congregation. But for another thing, it never really works that way. We really like to talk about equal sacrifice, not equal gifts, right? Because I just say this, we've got single moms in our church that are the heroes of generosity in our church. I can honestly say I'm just stunned and humbled by some of the generosity that comes out of some of the people. And I mean, we've got people that can give $100 that is a bigger deal to God in the kingdom than somebody who can write a $15,000 check and not wink an eye, honestly. And so it's not about, assessing everybody equally, but it's really about hearing the Lord. We all have different resources, and it really is a faith venture, and it's an opportunity to grow in faith. I make a big distinction between fundraising and stewardship. These are two different things for me. We don't really do fundraisers at Vineyard Church, and I'll explain what I mean by that, because you might think this is a fundraiser, but as I explain, at least it makes sense in my head. You can determine whether it makes sense in your head or not. But mostly when I think about fundraisers, I think about, selling stuff to get people's money. So if you've ever been in a church that did a lot of fundraisers, they're doing bake sales and cookie sales and this sales and that sales and rummage sales and sales, and they're always selling stuff to get people's money, okay? So that's kind of what I think of as a fundraiser. Most fundraisers are a lot of energy and don't make a ton of money. And it's kind of where do you say no if you open the door to fundraisers? You can have kids running around all weekend long, all the services hitting everybody up for, it just turns into and we really didn't want to create that atmosphere. Stewardship is about, God, everything we have is from God, it's His. And, because we're disciples of Jesus, let's make an impact with our money for the kingdom. And we give out of our heart.